I would imagine it's a lot easier to get the public behind increasing density in downtown or Tampa Heights or this area, Ybor, rather than, hey, Forest Hills, we're going to put some skyscrapers over here. That's kind of a tough call. So so directing certain areas. Well, sounds like a good start. Were you kind of satisfied walking out of that one? I mean,
we were really pleased, with the response and with the feedback. One of the interesting things about Tampa, and I'm not sure that folks really know this, and that's that the bulk of future growth, in addition to focusing on the areas where it's just obvious that growth should go, right? Downtown and sort of the areas immediately around downtown, the West Shore area, and also the area around USF. Those are like our three sort of downtowns, I guess, if you want to call it that. In addition to focusing on those three, well, where else is growth going to go? It's going to grow on our major corridors. So roads like Fowler, Florida Avenue, Dale Mabry, that's where you're going to see projects like Midtown continue to pop up, because that is what the plan has said will occur, by 2045, 2050. The interesting thing that we're going to see, though, is the interface between that change and the inevitable single-family neighborhood that's up against it, right? Where does that transition occur? What does it do, like sort of on the backside? How does it interface with the neighborhood? Does it add value to the neighborhood, or does it actually make it not as nice to live in the adjacent single-family neighborhood? Those are the conversations that are going to come with growth and with growing pains.
It's a logical fear. I get it. I understand. If you live in a single-family neighborhood, you've lived there for a long time, and then the city says, oh, by the way, next door to you, we're going to build, we're going to allow a commercial intensive use or a Midtown type project to be built. That's frustrating. I completely understand that. At the same time, though, we have to build. Like, we've seen the metrics of people moving here. If we don't increase the supply, we're going to have an even worse issue. And if people think rent is high now, add the, what did you say, 100 and something thousand people that are supposed to move here in the next decade and a half, we're going to have an even bigger issue.
Yeah.
So I would hope everyone is on the same page of increasing supply. It seems to me that that's the first step in all of this, is letting the public understand that, hey, the solution is the supply. We need more supply. How we get there is up for debate. Is there a disconnect there? Is there big opposition to increasing supply in general?
There's, I think, skepticism to anything that involves the private sector. That's it's always going to be there, and I don't mean on the part of government, but on the part of community and of the advocate. What we can do is try to sort of myth bust that as much as we can, to the extent that it can be, and just help people reach a common ground. The really interesting opportunity that I kind of posed last Thursday was that Tampa is unique relative to the county as a whole, the state, the country. The number of people that are moving here, the rate of growth is actually increasing. More people have moved here in the last 10 years than the 10 years prior. That is flipped when it comes to Hillsborough County, when it comes to the state, when it comes to the country. Population growth. That is a great opportunity, because it means that the demand is there and the market's going to be responding. All we have to do is tell the market where to go. And make it easier to grow in the way that we want to grow. It really shouldn't be that hard of a conversation. It gets hard when you start talking about those decisions in a vacuum and case-by-case decision points at every single stop. Our focus has been, we want to see the right building in the right place. And that's sort of the attitude that we're taking into this land use reform discussion and to zoning reform in general. Is we want to see the right building in the right place. We want to make sure that the way that we're growing is the way that is predictable and understandable for people.
If you enjoyed this clip, click here for the full episode and make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.